What's up, Zoomies and Trade Crew? Welcome back to the HVAC Zoomies podcast, hosted by Rhydon and Rachael. We are so excited that we are back for the Canadian Grand Prix. It is Rachel's home race this weekend.
Yes.
Ready for unpredictable weather and unpredictable groundhogs. So those 5 lights are going out.
And away we go.
Oh,
Oh, you beat me this time.
he quick. So what's up, everybody? Rachel and I have been absolutely swamped with this HVAC industry that we all love. We're 8 days away from the official first day of summer, but it's a tad bit busy out and about.
Unbelievable.
So I know everyone, I'm sure, is ready for some Apprentice updates, see how things were going. And and how is the new guy faring? Did he get his truck set up and all? Which that was actually a really fun segment to talk about last time. So I'm curious kind of how it's all going.
It's actually going really, really well. I've had him for now 2 weeks officially today. And this week I was already I could already leave him alone to do things because I had a couple of emergencies pop up and I can't just bring him everywhere, or we're in the middle of doing something and I'm comfortable with leaving him on site and letting him do his thing. I've taught him enough now to, check things safely. And if you're unsure, send pictures, call me. I'm always available, but it's been really, really good. So, the little word of advice to any apprentices that are listening. Send pictures, document everything, call, ask questions if you don't know, even if you're just even a little unsure. I would rather that than, you really screw something up and then I have to come back and fix it, which makes me, if it's something that could have been avoided, it makes me very upset. But no, he's so great. He gets our day started because anyone who knows me knows I'm notoriously late.
I thought I was just the one that was late. That's a sales guy trait. What are we talking about here?
This is also an owner thing too. Actually, this this dates back. This is like school days.
Rachel's like, I'm old school being late.
Yeah, yeah. This goes from a long time ago. Yeah. So I'm notoriously late. It is what it is, but now the kid knows enough to get himself started and what to do and, how to prepare. And honestly, I show up and he's got keys and parking passes and this and that and all the things ready. And I was like, this is the best. I don't have to do anything. I just have to show up and work. This is all I wanted to do.
Yeah. The nice thing about having an apprentice is he's also, he can help with the organization and getting everything set up and all those different things. It lets you have just a few minutes to work on the business instead of always in it all the time.
Yep. Yeah. And, I had a couple of days this week where I was able to just sit on my pack out and send emails while I'm working, he's right in front of me working away and I can tell him, oh, no, don't do that. Do this. Don't do that. Do this. And then, so I can watch what he's doing. I can also catch up on emails and get quotes out and all this stuff. And even though we're together on the site and we're working together, I'm able to do other tasks, which has been such a treat. He's been great.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt having that extra set of hands really allows you to do the more things you got to do to help the business grow.
Yeah.
And I think we've covered this some, but I want to talk about it just a little bit again. If there's anybody new that's listening, is what did it take for him to get to apprentice level to come to work with you guys? And I know part of it was he's part of your local union, correct?
Yes.
Now, did he go through how many training years is it? Is it 4 years, 6 years? I can't remember what the
We're
training is.
5 years,
Okay.
basically. We're 9,000 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. But we are, like, in essence, dual ticketed because we're refrigeration and then we're gas as well, for the most part. Not everybody in our local is.
Gotcha.
Our local is refrigeration.
Gotcha.
So, but we do encompass both. And so it's 9,000 hours on the refrigeration side. And then for the gas license, you're doing extra on top of that.
Solid.
Yeah. Yeah. It's intense, but honestly, worth it.
Did he have an HVAC background? Was this always the plan, or did he
Slight.
get into this?
He actually went to school, to university for, I think it was kin. I think he has a kin degree.
Which I do not know what that is. Or did you say
yeah,
Kim? Kim or
kin.
kinesis?
Kinesiology.
Ooh, okay, I got you.
Yes. And somewhere along the line, he decided he didn't want to do that. And then he started doing residential HVAC, and then he applied to the union, and that's how I got to know him. I actually interviewed him in his intake, and I'm pretty sure that's a conflict of interest somehow because I was his interviewer, and then I kind of slid him my card and said, call me.
Well, we can cut that part out. No
yeah. I think it's allowed. I don't know. I'll ask for forgiveness if I need to.
That's right. That's the fun thing. I do. Yeah. I beg forgiveness a lot, especially in a new role that I'm figuring out and learning and everything else. There's a whole lot of begging forgiveness later. I won't be able to do that forever, but right now it is my chief go-to.
Yes. I didn't know. Next time.
Yeah, as I learn whose toes I did or didn't mean to step on.
Exactly.
But no, and you talking about having apprentices as help, it is a breath of fresh air to be at a place at CE where I have a whole team to utilize to really help customers not only grow and shape their business, but it's a totally different environment than I've ever had. And it still is. Delegation is not my strong suit.
Same.
At all.
Oh my God. Just leave it. I'll do it. That's classic, Rachel.
Yep. And I've spent the first 14 years of my wholesale career, I spent kicking ass for myself a whole lot. Now, there have been times where I've had really great support. That's not me saying no one was ever there to support me. There are some people from my past that I could never have done the things I've done without their support. But
heck yes.
There's a difference in having, really? It never fails.
Of course.
He just wants to talk to you. That's really what it is. Rhodes is like, Rhodes wants to hang out with Auntie Rachel, and he won't sit still long enough for the headphones to stay on his ears to talk to you. So
likewise, little buddy.
Yeah, so now he's just trying to rip a hole in the gate to run downstairs to his mother.
Of course.
But anyway, I was somewhere along the lines of teamwork. Yes, so in the past, I've had some really great team members and some really great help, but I've never had truly dedicated groups of support teams for different aspects. So that's a whole different thing for me to now utilize and really help customers get the most out of their partnership with me and with us.
And that's nice because you can probably just hit the ground running in a way that you've never done that before.
Correct.
Yeah, which is awesome for, especially when you're new. And I mean, with me having an apprentice, this is a new part to me. I've had apprentices before, but I've had to share them with 30 other techs or whatever, so I don't have them all the time.
Yeah, how do you share an apprentice with 30 different people? That's insane.
It's scheduling.
One day a month. There you go.
Yeah, but when I had 30 techs to work with, I also had 6 or 7 apprentices to deal with, so I could pick, or I could
that makes sense.
Try and plan it. Yeah. So it's good. And sometimes you had to trade. It was, I'll give you this guy if I can take that guy, Yeah. So it's just working together. But now I'm responsible for what this kid does every day. And we're only 2 weeks in and I'm already delegating stuff to him. I'm really happy with his performance so far.
I'll back you up for a second. You were talking about hanging out on your pack out a little bit.
Yeah.
I know I saw some pictures this week that our wholesale team is continuing to to improve and build bigger, better Milwaukee displays at all of our branches in the Carolinas. So
Love that.
if you're interested in some Milwaukee product or some great NAVAC product, we have a ton of great NAVAC stuff that's recently been brought into the stores. So go check out your local 12 North Carolina CE branches, and I believe you're 7 in South Carolina. So, yeah, come on in and see us. You want some info?
Some
Slide in my
packets, some
DMs.
Navac, not bad.
Right?
Yeah.
Got some big boys in the barn.
That's kind of nice.
A few updates on me. I have been tearing the road up in the old Telluride. I've spent some time in the mountains, sometimes in Wilmington, some time in the middle part of the state. So I've been all over North Carolina the last couple of weeks, and the next few weeks are just as busy or even more. I am curious. I'm curious how close I'm going to get to the 4,000 or 5,000 mile mark this month. So this will be probably my biggest travel month so far of the year. Uh-oh, bat phone.
Sorry. It's okay. It's just mom and dad.
Just mom and dad.
Yeah. I'll just call them back. It's fine.
I'll just call them back. See you guys at dinner. But yeah, so lots of travel. I did get to see a nice little rooftop change out when I was in Wilmington. So I was driving past a McDonald's. It was close to lunchtime, and I was like, what is that crane doing over there? So being the HVAC guy, I'm like, he's got to be doing something fun. Pull in, and they're getting ready to change what looked like to be probably a 7.5 ton rooftop. So pulled up, parked, went inside, got some lunch, and then filmed the change out and the crane lift while I was eating lunch. So that was fun. Nice little content for the show. And then once it was up on the roof and it was just hanging and the guys were moving their trucks and stuff, I walked up and met the guy that's a service manager for the company that's actually was out of Raleigh, that was down in Wilmington doing this change out. Gave him some R&D stickers and some R&D classic bottle openers. And told him I would give him a shout and come see him the next time I was in Raleigh. So, got a little bit of everything involved with one nice little lunch break.
Oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds fun. It's always nice to get out on site and see those kind of things.
Oh, yeah. And
oh, my gosh. And now the robot vacuum is going. Oh, my gosh. I've silenced the phone, and now the Roomba's on the prowl. Get out of here. Oh, my gosh. Please hold. Shush! Get out of here! Pause. Yeah, pause. Cleaning. Gosh.
That makes me think about any time. You remember the little the mouse droids on Star Wars, the little ones on wheels?
Yeah.
That's what that made me think of. You're like, get out of here. And it's like, okay, bye.
I've named mine Floor
Dang it! I was gonna say something like that, but I didn't want to sound too dirty.
I saw somebody, my thermostat Wall Slut.
I love it. I saw someone else that had posted something on Instagram or somewhere that it was a joke about them having named their Roomba the Floor Slut.
Oh yeah, that's a great name. Somebody's stealing my bit?
Oh, I'm sure. Ugh. I'm sure somebody's trying to steal your bit. I mean, I've tried to steal your bit. You're an influential, cool person. We all want to be as cool as Rachel.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. So, honestly, I did not pull industry news this week. I felt like we've went through enough stuff that
got our own industry news.
We have our own news with everything we've been working on. So, yeah, nice little catch-up section. And I guess now we need to talk about the Spanish Grand Prix.
Oh, my gosh. Entertainment. Talk about it.
Having grown up in a family HVAC business, I know firsthand what it is like to have hired someone that you had to train for weeks just to get them up to speed. But what if they came trained, certified, and ready to work on day one? That's what Apprentice Now is all about, providing contractors and businesses with employees that are trained first so that you can hire right. If you want to know more about what Apprentice Now can do to help you and your HVAC business hire quality new technicians and installers, visit hvacrnd.com, check out the vendor hub, and click the Apprentice Now link to get started today. I was pleasantly surprised with the entertainment value, because sometimes the Spain race can be a bit just boring.
Yeah.
At times. Not all the time, but at times it can get to where it's just everyone's just in a DRS train and go.
Yeah.
So I think the removal of the chicane a couple of years ago, the old bus stop getting kicked out and it going back to the longer straight into the front straight has helped it be a bit more exciting.
Yeah.
And Max got his elbows out early, getting up to P2, and
I think my husband's home. Like,
busted.
it's all happening all at once. What is happening here? Savvy?
What?
Oh, you're home.
Did you eat anything?
No, I'm podcasting. Okay, we're good. We're clear.
I roll and walk back to the other room.
I didn't know what was happening there. It's 1:15 in the afternoon. We're both home.
That's just Floor Slut knew he was coming home. She was trying to clean the house.
She's trying to clean the house before Dad got home.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, Max got his elbows out early.
Oof.
But
ever?
Yeah, he did. Now Lando ran him back down once Lando kind of got free of everybody. But the opening part of the race was everybody was just hauling it, but Oscar was in a world of his own. He was gone.
Oh my gosh! Absolutely. What an incredible race! Like he dominated that. He really did.
Yep. So he. Oh wait, what in that yearly bold prediction? I think we might have just finished off that Oscar domination with that one. We'll finish highlighting that one later.
Yeah, let's save that for later.
Yeah, we'll finish that later. But very, very fun race. A couple of interesting things. Tons of pit stops for one, which I was happy about because I wanted to see some disruption there.
Yep.
The late safety car threw an even bigger monkey wrench into everything.
So good.
Some great team radio.
Yeah.
Absolutely great team radio. Max with a hard tire. What the hell is this?
Oh my gosh, that was and it always comes down to strategy, and I don't know if I really paid attention to that in previous years. I think doing this podcast is making me wildly aware of what's happening all over the place. And it really does come down to strategy, and Red Bull just didn't have it this week.
Well, I don't know if they didn't have it or not. I think if they had known they were going to end up with another stop, or that everyone else was going to end up with one, maybe they might have saved a different set of tires. But I think they went soft, hard, soft. And how it went.
But they changed like 4 lap tires. Like didn't he have he was on those softs for like 4 laps?
Yep. Yeah, I didn't really understand that.
Yeah, exactly. They lost the strategy. And then that whole thing with George. What? Like, I live for this stuff.
Yeah, the collision scene around the world, as I call it. That was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What would be nice, and I saw an article where Christian was talking about, it'd be nice if the stewards would just be like, yep, give the place back.
Yeah.
Or just be like, give the place back or take a penalty. Because leaving it to the teams, no team wants to give up a position with 5 laps to go.
Yeah.
That they also don't want to not give it up and get a penalty that's going to put them in an even worse position either. So I don't really think the team should be having to self-police themselves on some of those things.
Mm-hmm.
I think if there's a situation like that and a place needs to be given back, I think the stewards need to be much more proactive to be like, look, that's it, give it back. They should have like a within 30 seconds to 1 minute or whatever. Don't tell me there's not enough people that they could have someone focus specifically on things like that. Come on.
But honestly, I think it comes down to what F1 really is all about. And it is teamwork, and it is camaraderie and all these things. And I think they're leaving the choice to do the right thing up to the team and to the driver.
Well, it's that gentlemanly sportsmanship.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yes. So you have a choice to do the right thing, and if you don't, then we interfere.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. The whole collision was very interesting because at first it looked like he was giving George enough room to do it, But
Mhm.
at the same time, George also looked like he cut it a little bit closer than he probably needed to. And
Yeah.
Max's frustration, I think had George not cut it so close,
Mhm.
Max might not have ran into him. But at the same time, like you could just tell the frustration just took over, and he's like,
Well, George is like a very conscious driver. He does play it safe. He doesn't not I mean as safe as you can as an F1 driver, I guess.
right,
But he does play it safe. So he probably wouldn't brake late and turn in too late. That's not his driving style. That is Max's style. So I think the two together, I think it was just a perfect combination for that cuz
yep,
Max is the king of braking late.
oh yeah,
Yeah. So that's not out of the norm for him at all.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
So I guess let's run through.
Nope.
Here they go again. I swear.
Children.
Children committee. So this was actually Rhodes' fault. He is chewing. Now he's, instead of barking out the window or scratching the window, he was chewing his bone. He had one paw holding it on the floor, and he was pulling it up with his mouth, and he let go of it, and it smacked the floor.
Oh,
It made a
okay.
nice little thud noise. So now Cody downstairs is like, what in the hell was that? I swear. These puppies.
The kids.
The kids.
Silly.
Yep. Definitely the kids. There's going to be so much create silence in the little gaps of this show. My goodness.
I know.
So I guess let me run through. I'll go through the final results, and then we'll pick out a few other little things to talk about. So official results from Spain: Oscar on top, Lando in second, Charles in third for a second straight podium, George in fourth, Nico Hulkenberg
Nice. Yeah, great drive by him.
way out of place.
Great
Awesome
drive
drive
by
for
him.
Sauber.
Mhm.
Finishing fifth, Lewis finishing sixth, Hadjar continuing
Love that
to
guy.
show that he is great value for RB in seventh, Pierre Gasly in eighth, our boy Fernando getting into ninth and getting on the board. 2 points for Aston Martin for
Small
Fernando,
praise.
finally.
Yeah.
I was worried he was not going to have that great of a race since he was in the gravel at like lap 12 in P15.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. I was worried he was going to have a rough day, but way to turn it around. Max's penalty dropped him down to 10th. Liam Lawson in 11th. I think he got a penalty for getting into it with Alex Albon, because I know Alex ended up with a DNF. And then Gabriel Bortoleto in 12th, Yuki in 13th. He's had a bad day.
Yeah, he did.
He's struggling. Carlos in 14th. It was not a good weekend for Williams.
No.
Franco Colapinto in 15th. He's kind of right where he's been since he jumped back in that car.
Mhm.
Esteban and Ollie for Haas in 16th and 17th. Kimi Antonelli, DNF with another engine blow up on lap 53. Poor kid has had Europe was not good to Mercedes.
No.
I will say that. It's been a bad trip over there this time. And then obviously Alex retired on lap 27. Only 19 cars classified because Mr. Lance Stroll had to withdraw due to some medical issues. It does look like he's supposed to be back on the grid this week in Canada, so we shall see.
I would hope so.
Yep, you would think it'd be pretty rough if he missed his home Grand Prix.
I know.
And who knows, this potentially could be his last season. I keep seeing these rumors swirl that Aston Martin is preparing this massive bid for Max. I've read some also that Merck is even going after Max for 2026 or 27, because I think his contract's up in 26 at Red Bull, if I remember correctly. Might be wrong, so don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure.
That would be interesting.
So, I mean, is there going to be an Adrian Newey reunion at Aston Martin?
Oh my gosh, Max would be so happy.
Could
They
you
would both
imagine?
be so happy.
Oh, they would. Could you imagine Max and Fernando on the same team?
Nope.
Oh,
No.
I don't know.
Like probably the nicest guy in the paddock against Max.
I don't know. Fernando's pretty ruthless on the track. when he's got the car.
Yeah.
So,
but he is like the ultimate wingman. Like he is always there for the team, right?
yep.
So
Ferrari, well, actually, let's go. McLaren 1-2, very, very powerful 1-2 there for McLaren. So after this, driver standings, Oscar remains on top, 186 points.
10 points, I think.
Yep, Lando's dropped a few more, so he is now 10 points adrift at 176. Max's bad day dropped him to 137, so he is starting to get stretched away. It also allowed Russell to kind of start closing the gap on him at 111. Charles and Lewis, solid performance in Europe that Ferrari is getting dialed in a little bit, it looks like. So Charles is up to 94 points in fifth, Lewis with 71 in sixth. Kimi Antonelli, despite all of his frustration, he had such a strong opening to the season. He's still in seventh with 48 points. Alex Albon up to 42 points in eighth. Isaac Hadjar in ninth with 21. Esteban Ocon in 10th with 20. Nico's great day got him up to 11th with 16 points. Lance is still in 12th with 14. Carlos in 13th with 12. Pierre in 14th with 11. Yuki in 15th with 10. Ollie in 16th with 6. Liam Lawson in 17th with 4th now that he's gotten some points on the board.
Yeah.
Fernando Alonso in 18th with his 2 points.
There he is.
And then Bortoleto, Jack Doohan, and Franco Colapinto all with goose eggs in 19th through 21st. So, looking at Canada, since 1961, JP Lamborn Company has been the name behind some of the best flexible duct products in the business. A third-generation family-owned company that built its legacy on integrity, innovation, and service. That same spirit drives them today, with antimicrobial technology, top-tier materials, and a relentless focus on quality. When contractors need a product they can stand behind, JPL delivers. It's more than just flex duct, it's peace of mind. JPL, the name you know, the quality you trust, and the flex that delivers. So we go to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. I love saying that.
You say it so well.
I've practiced. I probably said it like 30 times when I was reading it before this, just so I could sound officially impressive. Just kidding.
Yes, first quarters. Yep.
Yes. Well, actually, that's my Cajun roots too. Got the little bit of Cajun French in there, you know.
I love the Cajun French. It's awesome.
So we're so far south we sound like we're from up where you are, right?
I like it.
So the first GP was in 1978. 14 turns, 70 laps, 2 DRS zones, one in the middle of Sector 2, and the other is a two-part that goes the back straight through the chicane and onto the opening straight. Valtteri still holds the lap record from 2019. Tires for the weekend, the C6, C5, and C4, so the softest in the range. It's a very low abrasive, track, but it has super high track evolution. We might get a two-stop out of it just because of distance or because of the weather is always super unpredictable. It is. It could rain. It could be sunny. It could be 2 degrees. It could be 30 degrees.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't know. See, everybody, I'm working on my Celsius.
You're doing great.
So I think, a couple of storylines for this weekend. Number one, what's going to be Max's response after his struggles in Spain? Is he going to come to the track and just move on, or is there still going to be, unfinished business with he and George? Is there potential for another clash?
I think Max is just that driver who can just push whatever happened before behind him and move forward. Ultimately, his goal is to be on top, and race after race, that is what he does.
Yep. And right, wrong, or different, he wants to win the race.
Yeah.
And right, wrong, or indifference, sometimes the frustration just comes through.
Yeah.
I know I saw an article where, obviously Max did take responsibility for it. George George came out and was like, "Oh, I'm actually surprised that he did."
100%. That was so funny.
But that's going to be interesting. The McLaren driver battle obviously is the main talking point because Lando he's got to deliver,
Mm-hmm.
or it's going to be mid-season here shortly before he knows it, and Oscar is going to be out in front, and Oscar is going to be the one they give preference to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Lando has got to show up this weekend.
He
got
does.
to.
Yeah. And you know he can. He has proven that. What was the race before Spain?
Monaco.
Monaco. Like he's able to do that. If he's in the right headspace, he can do it. For him, it's purely emotional.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he wears it on his sleeve, and sometimes it comes back to bite him.
Yeah.
Yep. Comes back to bite him. What do you think about Ferrari for this weekend?
Honestly, Leclerc's been great since Monaco, basically. He's just the Leclerc and the Ferrari that we expect.
Yep.
So I think I hopefully he keeps this momentum going. I think Lewis is still having growing pains, so I think not that we should count him out for the season, but like I think there's still that frustration and getting to know the car and all of that. So I don't know. I think they're still going to push for Leclerc to be the lead, and I think now he's caught some momentum. I think he's going to carry that through.
Well, and also I saw that Lewis came out in one of the last several days backing Fred Vasseur to really keep the momentum going. He believes he's got good team leadership. It's just they're working to figure out the car. So I think Lewis is starting to show that he's betting into the team more. You know, if you're going to come out and say things like that, then obviously you have really been putting in the time to make sure you're building relationships with your team and you're starting to buy into their thoughts and their process, but you're trying to figure out how yours integrates into theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's much more upside, I believe, for them still this season, even though I don't think there's going to be a ton more upgrades for anybody through the rest of the season. I think there's one or two more upgrade packages, probably nothing crazy. I don't know if everybody's going to bring a Monza package later this year or not. I saw that it looks like Ferrari is pushing for a few more upgrades the next several weekends. I don't know if anything's showing up in Canada, but we'll see.
Can't count Lewis out. He is too good a driver. So it's always a wild card.
Well, and they've managed to push above Mercedes now into the second spot of the team standings. So they're 6 points ahead of Mercedes in second. Max and the Max team is down to 144, Team Max, but he's still in fourth. Williams has a nice solid hold on fifth, but I think nobody's catching McLaren unless both those cars blow up every race from here on out. They're bang on to win the team standings, but I think Ferrari is going to be in a tight fight with Mercedes. Unless Yuki gets his act together, Max can't do it himself.
It's true. Yeah. And you know me, I'm Team Yuki to the death, but
oh yeah,
I hope he can, because I know he's capable of it. So it's just a matter of getting him to where Max is.
So after Mercedes have had a rough European leg, George was on pole in Canada last year. I'm curious if we can see, some return to performance for them. This typically is a very good track for them. Like I said, obviously Valtteri had a track record in 2019 with a Merc, and that's stood for, 5 years now. That's typically a good car there.
Get that. Wonder if McLaren can take that away from them, because it's a fast car.
It's a very fast car.
Yeah.
And it would not shock me if they did.
Yeah.
I think this should be a weekend where George and Mercedes should have a good weekend, but I know there's also been, in the past, Ferrari's had great times here, Red Bull's had great time here, so this is always such an interesting track to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, the circuit is always very, very entertaining.
What about old Fernando? Rhodes is like, yeah, he can do it. He can do it.
Yes, he can.
Pappy Fernando, but
the rookie.
Yeah. But no, I think I really hope to see him stay up in the top 10 again. It would be nice. I don't know how Lance is going to look this weekend. We'll see.
Home race, it always does something to these drivers, right?
Yep, always does.
Yeah.
Williams are desperate for a bounce back.
They have to.
Yep. And again, I really thought the Williams car would be better in Spain because of the straights, but it just did not work out that way. I'm curious if it will here because that dual DRS zone for those two back straights is massive. So we'll see.
Yeah, this will suit Williams. This course will suit Williams. So hopefully.
And then we look a little bit further down the order. Obviously, Alpine, RB, and Sauber in the lower ends. Hadjar has. I still think he's
been incredible.
He's been incredible. I think there's a good chance he could find his way still into the fight. Pierre as well. I don't know if this is going to be the greatest track for the Saubers. I don't know, but it remains to be seen. Thoughts about likelihood of groundhog interruption in practices, qualifying, or the race?
It's a definite maybe. Yes. I would say yes.
That is honestly, this is quite literally top 3 of my favorite races every year just because of the freaking groundhogs. I've always been a very big, passionate supporter of the whistle pig, and it always cracks me up every time.
It's so good. Oh, the videos after are always so funny. The memes and stuff, and
yeah,
it's just so good.
Well, it amazes me there's not more like critter stories at other tracks. It's like, how is that the only track that has a great critter story?
And it's like pretty consistent.
Exactly. I mean, every year there's some sort of groundhog disturbance. It never fails. If anything, there's at least a good chance you're going to get a spot of one just hanging out watching the race.
Yeah.
It always makes me wonder if they're just like, how does that go so fast? What is this thing?
Yeah. Yeah. The other ones I try to dodge are so much slower.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, what is it like to be in the mind of a groundhog when a Formula One car goes flying past him at 300
and I keep thinking, gosh, they have the best seats in the house.
Right? Right?
Like, what I wouldn't give to be right where that little groundhog is right now.
I've always wished that there would be a time when there was a wreck in Canada and then it panned to the groundhog with his mouth open like, oh, what just happened?
That would be awesome.
It's a meme that I don't know how to create, but would be hilarious.
Would be, exactly.
So, Canadian bold predictions. What's up, trade crew? You've heard the buzz, you've seen the press gang at every single AHR. Contractors across the country are ditching their torches for RLS press fittings, and they're not looking back. Why? Because RLS lets you finish faster, safer, and cleaner. From rooftops to mechanical rooms, crawl spaces, and attics, it's a press-and-go solution that's leak-tested, UL recognized, and proudly made in America. Make the switch to RLS and take the heat out of your installs, literally. RLS, rapid locking system, press forward and press on.
Oh, we're going bold prediction. Well,
which actually, before we do that, we need to do our overall season prediction roundup, just to talk about where we are so far.
I see you already gave yourself the point for the Piastri.
Actually, I think we did that the last time we won a race.
Oh, probably.
So my season bold predictions: Lewis wins in red. Thank you, China. Williams podium after Spain. I'm fearful, but there's still a chance. I believe in you, fellas. Alex and Carlos, I believe in you. From my mouth to God's ears. So Piastri asserts his dominancce. If he wins this one, it's definitely bang on. But I'm pretty sure he's already dominating that team right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Rachel's season predictions. Lando continues his bad starts.
Okay.
Honestly, you might be starting to get some points back on that one.
Yes, I think last week it wasn't a great start. So I think I should get Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
we're
Let's
gonna
highlight
fill
that.
that halfway in
Thank
now. We're
you.
getting there.
We're getting
Merck
there.
struggles. Honestly, it was a very rough European leg. I'm gonna give you some points on this one.
Yeah, I get at
Um,
least a half
at
point.
least for poor Kimmy.
Yes. I
Yuki
mean,
podium.
and George. I mean, George did have his
That's
little run-in, so
that's
I
true.
mean,
Yep, George
yeah,
had his.
he did struggle.
Well, and what's funny is it's almost like George was meant to be involved in something at in Spain after he was the one that was a little bit petulant in Monaco.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna start giving you some points for the
Thank
old Merc
you.
struggles.
Now
So, I
this
mean,
one's gonna
this
kill me.
our season bold predictions are gonna come down to Yuki and Williams, which I actually
I
think is
know,
awesome.
which is awesome.
It's gonna make the rest of the season so much more exciting.
I know, and we're rooting for both of them. Like
Right?
Williams has it. We know that.
Yep.
Yuki has it. He has a winning car. Just get it together, Yuki.
Well, and our dumb selves, we didn't even go over our bold predictions for Spain and run through them. So
Oh yeah.
so what we're caught up for the season. Our bold predictions in Spain. Sorry to backtrack on everybody, but we got to bring us up to date. So mine was the best tire strategy was going to be medium, hard, soft. I don't know if there was a best tire strategy, so I definitely didn't get points for
We
that.
know it wasn't hard. What was it? Hard,
Soft, hard,
hard?
soft, hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Fernando gets points. Hell yeah. So pumped about that one. A Williams double top 10. That was an absolute catastrophe. And for Rachel, Lando wins and goes top. Nope, he didn't make it.
Denied. Kimmy in the points. No.
Kimmy in the points.
Gosh.
Nope, he was in the gravel. And Ferrari botched their strategy. I don't know. I don't think they did. I don't really think they did.
No.
But at the same time, I don't know if they had a great one either, but I don't think they totally botched it.
No, I don't think so either.
So this might be our as a team of Zoomies. This was, I think, our worst showing for a weekend. So on to Canada. I know I went first. Actually, I went double first last time and kind of took some out of your pocket. So, what are you thinking?
Well, I kind of already said one, so I'm thinking that we're going to get a new lap record.
New lap. See, I like it. We're adding different types of predictions as we're getting more comfortable with the show. I like it.
Yes, I know. But I botched mine last week.
Hey, but this is an experimental season 1. We're figuring out this year. In season 2, we're gonna blow it up. It's gonna be fantastic.
We're gonna be so seasoned. Yes, we're gonna be so seasoned by that time.
We'll have to get like sleek F1 style HVAC Zoomie uniforms.
We have to.
Actually, we should order us some before before AHR in Vegas, and we should find a way to do a show from the paddock or something. I don't know, it probably costs like $300 to go look at it. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We should figure something out because that would be some ultimate Zoomie goals. Is we do a show from the paddock in Vegas. Next winter.
Next stop, we're doing it at F1.
Yes.
We're going to a race.
When are you coming? I still think Coda is probably the easiest one for us to attempt to make together.
Probably.
Miami's too hot. I don't want to deal with that. Sorry.
I am too well insulated for Miami.
Oof. Me too.
Oof. Kristen, however, would love it.
Oh, she would be like, y'all have fun at the race. Drop my ass at the beach. I'll be fine.
She'll end up darker than me. I can't have that.
Yeah, she's dark right now, and it's done nothing but rain for the last 3 weeks. She's already super dark for the summer. All right, so new lap record.
Oh yeah.
I have already said it, but I am going for a groundhog interruption at least once for the weekend.
I like that one. I like that one a lot.
All right, over to you.
Oof. This is tough. I think we'll see. I think we'll see Hajar definitely get into the top. Not top three. I would say I would see top five. I think he's been gaining
Ooh,
momentum. Yeah, I like him. I like him.
Hajar in the
I think
top
this will
5.
be. I think this will be a good race
That
for him.
car has had really good moments. There have been really good moments for that
Yes.
RB car with him.
Yes.
So, and Canada can also have some really crazy, unpredictable wrecks. So there could be, who knows?
He's just getting
It's very
increasingly better and better every race. I think he's had
yep.
obviously a couple of mishaps, but I like him. I think he's going to do well.
Oh, let's see. I think Charles gets a third straight podium.
Oh, I hope so. He's so handsome. He's so handsome. I get more Charles screen time. It's nice. I enjoy it.
Right?
Yeah.
All right.
I think this will be a good round. I'm hoping this will be a good round for Williams. I think Williams. I think we'll see at least one of the Williams in the top 10.
Williams top
That's
10.
kind of a soft.
Yep, that's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They've taken a beating in the last race, so I'd like to see them come up.
I think Max fights back with a vengeance.
Ooh.
He's good at this. They're all good. I never say that he's good at this track. They're all good at that track. None of us could do what the hell they do driving. But I think he is gonna have the bit between his teeth after being very frustrated in Monaco, and then seeing his frustration that's seethe out of him in Spain. I think Max he's probably he should be a bang on top 5, but I think he is going to be fighting to the death to be top 3.
It's just him. It's just what he does.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, well, there you have it, folks. Bold predictions for Canada. Rachel's calling for a new lap record. Isaac Hajar in the top 5. A Williams top 10. And I'm going for a groundhog interruption. Charles gets a third straight podium, and Max fights back. The Empire strikes back, or the Max strikes back. There we go. So yeah, looking forward to a fun weekend. I think practice 1 just kicked off. It's live right now. I think it kicked off at 1:00. So practice 1 is probably just about done. Actually, let me click the old. See if I can tell you. Ooh. So as of right now in P1, Charles has the top lap in P1. We're 40 minutes into P1. Charles Leclerc has recorded a 1:13.88.
Wow.
George is a 10th behind. Lando is 2/10 behind. Max is 4/10 behind. And Hajar is 4.5 back in 5th.
Yes.
Alex in 6th, Yuki in 7th, Carlos in 8th, Pierre in 9th, Fernando in 10th. Now, it's P1. P1, you can almost throw it out half the time. But, hey, there's 20 minutes left. That whole leaderboard could change. But, so far, solid performance versus what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. It looks like Oscar hasn't put up a time, so is there something? There might be something afoot with the McLaren. We never know. Ooh. So, well, folks, thank you so much for listening to latest episode of HVAC Zoomies. Special thank you to Rachel, as always, for hosting with me and helping to grow the Zoomie Nation and the trade crew. Everyone, please go make sure you follow HVAC Zoomies online on Instagram at the HVAC Zoomies, Facebook and LinkedIn as the HVAC Zoomies podcast. And please follow your hosts, myself, HVAC Rhino, and my partner in crime, HVAC Rach. If you're not following our hosting show, HVAC R&D online, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at HVAC.R&D, on LinkedIn, Trade Hounds, and Facebook as the HVAC R&D podcast. Thank you for listening to the show. Please smash that like and subscribe button. Rate the show. Leave us a review or a comment. Share us with your Zoomies and your trade crew. Go check out the Vendor Hub on HVAC R&D for more information about our excellent and great sponsors, AC Products USA, Apprentice Now, JPL Flexible Duct, and RLS Rapid Locking System, as well as discounts from BetterHelp, Chirp, Service Titan, and SkillCat. If you want to work with us or join the show, please make sure to click the link for the podcast questionnaire, which is going to be in the description of the show when we drop it. Everybody, enjoy the race. Have a great weekend. Peace and Zoomies out.